Hello and welcome everyone to part 3 of my filmmaking journey, an ongoing series that follows the production of my movie project Dark Secrets. Now, so far in this series we've already talked about the right mindset and also how to write a script. So in today's episode, we're going to take a look at the movie's budget. Now, before we start, let's make something very clear. Yes, a movie's budget is very important, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is still that you have a good idea and a good script, which is what I've talked about in the last episode. So now we're going to take a look at how to get a budget together for your movie. First of all, I know money for many people is always a big issue. I'm sure many of you say, I would really love to make a movie, but I don't have any budget to do it. What can I do? Well, when it comes to getting more money, there are of course many possibilities. But when it comes to making a movie, I would say there are only a few good ways. For example, when people need money, many of them tend to go to banks first and they try to get a loan there. But here's the thing. Firstly, getting a loan from a bank for your movie is not very realistic because the bank basically has no guarantee that you're able to pay the loan back. And speaking of that, the same applies to you. Before your movie is released, you cannot say how much money your movie is going to make, or if it even makes money. So lending money, be it from a bank or from other people, is always a very risky thing. So I suggest you not to do that. Now, what else can we do to make money? Well, a good option would be to find sponsors. Sponsors who believe in your movie and who are willing to help you finance it. Now, no matter where you live and where you make your movie, there are definitely many companies who offer sponsorships for movies. But here's the thing. Most of them are actually very picky and careful when it comes to sponsoring movies. So in order for you to get their help, be prepared that you really need some convincing arguments on your side. But if you can convince them, well, then you actually have a very good base for financing your movie. But now, let's come to a third option as well. And that is basically completely self-financing your movie. Now, I know, many of you are probably not in the position that they are millionaires and money doesn't matter to them at all. Now, if you are in that position, great for you. But I'm sure many of you are not. So if you don't have a big portion of money already on your side, what can you do to get one? The answer is by saving money. Now, you may say now, Moritz, I can save money. I don't earn that much money. I have no chance to do it. Well, I believe that everyone, or at least nearly everyone, is able to somehow save just a little bit of money by just doing very simple things. For example, instead of buying a coffee every single morning, you saved a few bucks. That's not huge, but if you do it over the course of a longer time, it will definitely be a good amount of saved money. Or other stuff is like, think about where you spend your money on and then think about, do I really need all of that? For example, do I really need 10 different streaming services? Do I even use them? If not, can I maybe cancel some of them? Or do you really need the new iPhone as soon as it comes out? If your old smartphone is still working, save the money instead. Or when I meet my friends on the weekend, do we really need to go to a bar or a club every time and spend money there? Or can we also meet at home, for example, where we don't have to pay anything? Now, these are all examples on how you basically can save money in your everyday life. Now, our final question for today is, how much money do we even need to make our movie? Now, of course, there's not a general rule that can apply because there are movies that have been made for very cheap, but there are also very expensive movies out there. But if you ask me, I would say it mostly depends on how many people do you need to finish your movie. Take myself, for example. in order to keep my movie relatively cheap, I will just cast the people that are absolutely necessary for the production. And I will do much of it by myself. I will be the writer of my movie, of course. I will also be the director, the main producer as well. And I will also be one of the actors. Especially when it comes to acting, I think it's a really good way for you to save some money. When you play in your own movie, you basically save the salary of an entire actor. But of course, that's just an option. If you say, I'm not good at acting, I don't want to do that, that's okay, of course. But keep in mind that you need one additional actor then. So, in order for you to make a plan for your budget, it's very important that you need to know what your skills are and what you can do for your movie by yourself. As I said, I, for example, will basically do all of the creative stuff because that's where I'm good at, or at least I think I'm good with that. We'll see. Where I'm not so good at is the technical side, like the camera and sound system, and also when it comes to video editing, sound editing, as you can probably see by the quality of my YouTube videos. So for a movie, don't worry, I'm gonna get a professional video editor so that post-production will go smoothly. So to sum it all up, in order for you to make a plan for your budget, on the one hand, you need to know what your skills are and how many other people you need for the production. And when you're done with that, there are several methods for you to get a budget together. My final tip for you, just plan with money that you already have together. Don't rely on sponsorship and other stuff as long as you don't have it for sure. My movie will have a planned budget of around 10 to 15,000 euros, and that's a budget I already have together. And if I end up with even more money, that's great, but I don't plan with it, so that I don't have to make some shortcuts later. Alright everyone, that's it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching this video till the end. If you like it, please consider giving it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell notification so you'll get notified as soon as a new video goes up. You can also follow me on Instagram. The link for that is down in the description below. I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, have a great time and of course, keep watching movies.